The first law of thermodynamics states that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only change forms. This idea supports the spiritual belief that the soul as energy is immortal. Everything in the universe, including the heart and soul, is made of light. This offers a new way to understand the universe, suggesting that all of existence is interconnected and contains the information of everything else. Every cell in the universe holds this information, which can be hard to grasp in everyday life, like when we're stuck in traffic or waiting at the doctor's office. However, science increasingly shows that our world is an energetic construct rather than just material objects. What we see as solid bodies and forces are just different forms of space. In reality, everything is energy. As physical beings, we often define reality by what we can see and touch, but science now proves that at the most basic level, everything is energy. This means that what we consider physical may not be physical at all. The universe is made up of invisible, intangible, and powerful energies that connect and give life to everything. These energies can be understood as information, intelligence, or pure consciousness. The true self is pure and independent, existing within the mind but beyond the senses. Cannot be perceived by the senses or understood by the mind because it is the source of both. Yet the self can be known, and to do so we don't need the mind or senses. Ultimately, matter, energy, information, and consciousness are just different views of the same reality. Mystics have long taught that everything is energy and that creation is unified in consciousness. The self is part of this unity. Just as a wave is part of the ocean, the human soul is part of the omnipresent spirit. The ocean can exist without waves, but waves cannot exist without the ocean. Similarly, the spirit can exist without humans, but humans cannot exist without the spirit. Everything is made from this fundamental substance which existed before God created the world. By balancing the heart's feelings with the mind's reason, we can recognize that behind every feeling, will, strength, and wisdom is the infinite Lord. God is hidden everywhere, in the stars, the earth, and even in our feelings. If you follow a regular meditation practice, you will begin to see God's presence everywhere. Divine realization is a state beyond description, as the human mind is too limited to fully comprehend it. However, through meditation, you can expand your mind and eventually unite with the divine intelligence that permeates creation. This is the ultimate purpose of human life, to know the source of your life and reunite with God. This is the most important goal for humanity, to move beyond the duality of creation and understand the unity of the Creator. Don't let your ego stand in the way of this divine purpose. By letting go of the ego, your true self can shine. Man's importance isn't in his ego or personality, but in being a part of God. As a soul, you do a disservice by keeping it trapped in the material world, life after life, haunted by fear and death. Understand that you are the soul, living in peace, and distance yourself from worldly attachments. Through deep meditation, recognize your divine nature and let your true self develop. By consistently meditating, you can become aware of the divine blessing within you and understand that your true identity is not the physical body, but the eternal consciousness that flows within it. Look inward, and behind your consciousness you will find the presence of God. Don't focus on the limitations of your physical body and its weaknesses. Instead, look beyond them by concentrating on your soul and establishing a deep connection with God. Go beyond the body's limits and recognize that you are beyond any physical changes. You are formless, omnipresent, and all-knowing. Wake up from ignorance and realize that true happiness doesn't come from the external world. However, you don't need to retreat from everyday life to find the source of all happiness. You can find it in the silence within yourself. True happiness is found in the person who remains calm and undisturbed, even in the midst of life's challenges. Nothing can shake the stillness of such a soul. To reach paradise, you must first carry a sense of paradise within your heart. Every day within your heart there should be power, joy, and peace from God. Learn to live in the world without losing your inner peace, and follow a balanced path to achieve self-realization. Peace flows through your heart like fresh rain, filling you with its fragrance and light. It pierces through all worries and noise, calming all restlessness. This peace expands until it fills the entire space around you and reaches everywhere, in every heart. Peace is present in nature, in the mountains, the stars, and in wisdom. It is the joyful spirit that flows from the silence within you, bringing a sense of eternity. With your eyes open, you see yourself as a small body, but with closed eyes, you perceive yourself as the center of the universe, around which everything else revolves. You feel God as a gentle pleasure flowing through your being, as the light that guides your thoughts and as the voice that teaches in the depths of every soul. A time will come when the world awakens to its true nature, realizing that the idea of separation is just an illusion. This realization will bring about a world filled with love and peace. The journey to this awareness is beautiful, full of love, and feels like returning home. For a long time, humanity has believed in the false idea of separation, seeing ourselves as isolated beings. This belief has caused fear, competition, and conflict. But now, both spiritual traditions and scientific discoveries like quantum physics are revealing that everything in the universe is interconnected and interdependent. Realizing this truth of oneness can be a transformative experience. It involves letting go of the illusion of separation and recognizing that we are all expressions of the same divine essence. Embracing this truth can bring profound peace, love, and compassion into our lives. It helps us see beyond the limitations of our individual identities and recognize that we are part of something much greater and more beautiful. First, it's important to realize that you've been living under the illusion of separation. It's easy to be deceived but hard to admit that you've been deceived. Throughout your life, you've accepted the illusion of separation, seeing yourself as a separate individual with unique traits, opinions, and beliefs. You think you have a life of your own, which fuels the false belief in separation. When you look at someone else, you might see them as different from you, using physical distance to justify this separation. But in truth, you are neither your body nor your mind, and neither is anyone else. This is the reality you must accept. There's no need to chase after countless ideas or seek more information. Just accept this truth. The only thing that resists this truth is the mind, which has been conditioned to believe you are your body. But this truth cannot be understood by the mind alone. Understanding oneness comes from direct experience, not intellectual concepts. Our world, with its focus on materialism and individualism, often pulls us away from our true center. We're conditioned to see the world as divided, me versus others, us versus them, humans versus nature.